Hello, ako po si Paterno Esmaquel at ito ang Rappler Talk. Mahalaga sa demokrasya ang eleksyon. Pero marami nagsasabing nanganganib ang demokrasya ngayon. Totoo ba ito? Makakasama natin ang isang political analyst, si Mr. Doy Romero, para mas maintindihan natin ang isyong ito. Maraming salamat po sa pagsama sa amin ngayon dito, Mr. Romero.
Maraming salamat, Pat.
Thank you, sir. And I'd like to begin by asking you about your fearless forecast about Monday's elections. Tingin nyo, sir, anong mangyayari? Sinong mananalo? Anong kampo yung mas mananaig?
Well, I think basically the Hugpong and the PDP laban, sila pa rin yung mananaig kasi meron silang momentum at dyan yung sinasabi ng pera na mananalo kasi alam mo naman yung election natin na correlated yan sa laki ng investment. Pero nung tinitignan ko yung ranking at nakita kong sunod-sunod yung sina Gutok, sina Alejano, nakabunch sila, doon ko nakita na, merong botong 8 diretso. So while they are not in the first page, andun sila sa second page, nakikita ko na yung angat nila ay sabay-sabay. Except for si Pilo Hilbay na medyo nahuhuli. Ibig sabihin, tinatarget siya. Pero ang ibig sabihin sa akin noon ay merong lumalaking movement ng mga tao na boboto sila ng 8 diretso.
Pero sir, sa mga survey ngayon, nakikita natin na talagang dominated talaga yan ng mga kandidato ng Pangulong Duterte. Tingin nyo ilan sa mga kandidato ng oposisyon naman yung makakapasok sa Senado?
Well, mahirap sabihin, but alam natin na si Mar Rojas at si Bam ay nakaposisyon doon sa may posibilidad. And while sinasabi ko ito, alam mo naman na magmula ngayon hanggang sa eleksyon, kung merong mangyari, alam mo yung mga Pilipino, merong psychological moment yan eh.
Ano yun?
Ito yung sabay-sabay nilang marirealize na, oo nga nakita mo yan noong panahon ni Villar. Diba, na nangunguna siya, pero biglang nakita nila na hindi tama ito sinasabi ni Villar na poor siya. Diba? And then that dissonance ay, ewan ko, biglang naging widespread. So, ang mga kababayan natin, kunwari, hindi man masyado nakikita, hindi sila attentive. Pero actually, meron silang sixth sense dyan. So, nakikita ko yan. So, nung nakita mo si panahon ni Pinoy, how did he become a candidate for president? Nakita lang nila doon sa burol ni Cory sa the lead. There was a psychological moment. Early in the morning, people realize it, and throughout the day, it parang invisible waves yan eh.
So tingin nyo sir, itong sinasabi nyong psychological moment, posible nitong mapapasok pa ang mas maraming miyembro ng oposisyon sa winning circle?
Posible yan. Yeah. In fact, nung yung Team China versus Team Philippines na narrative, which was happening 3 weeks ago na matingkad, kinambyo ni Locsin, kinambyo ni President Duterte, kinambyo ni Panelo. So, na-dissipate yun. Pero kung let's say, instead na kinambyo nila, they started defending China and things like that. That would have built into a big wave. Pero, yun nga ang point ko dyan is, nakikinig sila. Although, kunwari, hindi nila pinapansin yung mga kritiko, hindi nila pinapansin ng Rappler, hindi nila pinapansin ng Inquirer, actually, nakikinig yan. Meron silang imaginary level na ayaw nilang lampasan. So, pag malapit na sila doon, kakambyo sila para ma-dissipate yung kung ano man yung negative, fearful feelings ng mga tao. Kaya, makikita mo yan dito sa matrix na nilabas nila, tsaka yung play nila na hindi na papalabasan itong Bikoy, kunwari, na nagpipresenta.
Correct. Sir, kung makapasok man yung mga ilang miyembro ng oposisyon sa winning circle, marami pa rin mga analyst ang nagsasabi na madodominate pa rin ng mga kandidato ni Pangulong Duterte yung Senado at natatakot sila na magkakaroon ng less independent na Senado. Kayo, anong palagay nyo doon?
Well, for so long as meron kang mga miyembro, ganyan na Frank Drilondon, sina Kiko Pangilinan, hindi ba? Ang kailangan lang may boses. Mahirap yung talagang walang boses. Then, shut out yon. Pero kung meron ka ng 4 doon ngayon, that is enough to create the alternative opinion na pag pinulot ngayon at isa ng ayunan ng mga force multipliers for public opinion, gaya na Rappler and the academics and the talk shows, that's enough. Because remember, the Senate is only a venue for statesmen to talk about their ideas for the nation. It's, yeah, they vote. But remember, senators, they are educators of the people. They go out there, they talk to commencement exercises, they are on TV. Sila talaga yung nag-educate ng mga tao as a bunch. And yung butuhan dyan, bago magkabutuhan, tinignan na ng mga senador kung pagboboto ba ako dito, makakadagdag ba yan dun sa aking political power. So, ang nangyayari niyan, in a sense, yung mga ideas na lumalabas sa Senado ay mahalaga at hindi lang patungkol sa boto yan. It's the strength of the idea that you present.
Kayo ba, sir, natatakot kayo na magiging less independent yung Senado?
Well, makikita ko na magkakaroon ng attempts. Pero, kung titignan mo
Attempts na ano?
attempts to railroad things like federalism. Pero, ako, ang tingin ko dyan, lampas na doon sa time para sa mga mabibigat at mahalaga na reforms in Philippine society.
Ano pong ibig sabihin yan?
Nung unang umupo si President Duterte, na talagang ang bango-bango niya, di ba, na halos yung mga opposition na hindi makatayo, di ba? Parang ayaw man nilang i-identify sila mga opposition. Yung time na yon, that was the time that he could have changed the federal, the structure of government to federal. That was the time he could have held this big build. That was the time. Pero makita mo na hindi niya master yung pagpapagalaw sa bureaucracia. Okay? I mean, it's not all political will. It's not all speaking. Diba? That what you say in a speech must be translated into orders all the way down the bureaucracy. Makikita mo yung bureaucracy ngayon. Actually, they are just waiting for orders. Yung kanilang independence na wala. So there is hardly anything that you can really implement. Bumabagal. Takot pumirma yung mga tao sa mga check. They are having a hard time giving orders. You talk about, I just don't want to mention the agencies that I work with. They have a lot of in other words, nawala yung coherence ng bureaucratic action. Now, remember, things happen because the bureaucracy pushes these things.
Pero di ba, sir, marami namang sumusunod kay Pangulong Duterte. Isang salita lang niya, susundin na ng mga empleyado ng gobyerno, mga opisyal ng gobyerno.
Yeah. Pero yung susunod ka, inutusan ka niya. Kung hindi mo na ako inuutusan, standby uli ako.
Hindi po ba dapat ganon?
Hindi. Dapat, ano kaya ang gustong gawin ng boss ko? I will try to glean what it is that he wants so that I can independently support him with strategic moves.
So, pagbalik natin sa Senado, balikan natin yung Senado, bakit po mahalaga na maintindihan natin itong ganitong dynamic sa pamahalaan ni Pangulong Duterte?
Yung sa
pagpapatakbo ng burokrasya.
Well, kasi lahat ng mga ginagawa natin sa Senado, akala natin pag naisa batas mo na, it will automatically implement itself. It does not happen that way. And ang problema nga natin sa ating bansa ngayon, akala natin lahat ay pwedeng isa batas. Gaya ng political dynasty, isa batas. Hindi, yung pagsasabatas niyan is maybe 5% of the effort required to make it happen. And so, kahit na may sa batas nila yung mga yan, they don't have the time to make it work. For instance, yung tarification, sabi nila, sige, bibigyan namin ng 10 million na safety net yung mga farmers. Hindi nila alam kung paano nila i-distribute yung 10 billion pesos na yon. So yung mga farmers ngayon, umiiyak sila kasi ang palay, ang bili ng palay ngayon ay 12 pesos to 15 pesos so umiiyak yung mga farmers natin. So ang ibig sabihin niyan ay hindi lang yung mga political institutions of government ang dapat nating tignan. Yung militar, for instance, ang palagi siyang nagpapalabas ng kanyang hinanakit na may sumusuway dyan, ayaw silang sundin. Ilang beses niyang in-offer na, kung gusto niyo mag-take over kayo. Pero apparently, yung militar, which is an institution, meron na silang internal checks sa sarili nila ngayon. Hindi sila gaya noon na basta head ako ng isang special unit na fighting unit, lalabas ako. Hindi na ngayon ganoon. Kasi they know that if they are not together, they're going to end up fighting one another. So these are the realities. And itong election natin ito, that's already the midpoint of Duterte. Kumbaga sa klase, midterms mo na yan. And kahit na mataas ang akala mong grade mo, o akala ng mga tao na mataas ang grade na binibigay nila sa'yo, it's benefit of the doubt yan. Pero this last 3 years, bigla makikita mo na, okay, time's up. Asan yung mga promises mo? Pwede niya kasi sabihin, hindi pa naman tapos yung term ko Meron pa akong 3 years Kahit na pinangako kong first 6 months yan, I still have time to do it. But will he be able to deliver on these promises? Diyan mo makikita na suddenly, I cannot see these promises on build happening as well as they should.
Pero sir, kung karamihan ng senador ay panig sa kanya, mas mapapadali yung pagtupad ng mga pangako ng Pangulo.
Yeah, but they will be lost. They will be lost. They don't automatically translate. Kahit na sabihin mo, federal constitution. Di ba? Sige. Will there be consultations? Will there be a campaign? What happens in the campaign? Hindi naman Senado lang magde-decide niyan. So then it becomes a public campaign during the dying days of Rodrigo Duterte. Now, why would you change if the president will not be there for another 6 years?
Pero sir, dito nga, balikan natin yung mga mananalo ngayong eleksyon. Bilang isang expert, palagay ninyo ba sinisignal na nito yung pagkamatay ng demokrasya sa Pilipinas?
No, I don't think so.
Bakit po?
Sa tingin natin ng mga nag-iisip at nag-aaral na delikado yan. Pero kung titignan mo yung bayan natin, hindi naman naaalarma yung mga tao. Kasi yung gears na nagpapaikot sa mundo nila, iba doon sa gears na nagpapaikot sa mundo natin.
Ano pong ibig sabihin yan?
Ang mga gears nila kakain ba yung mga anak ko? Pag nagkasakit sila, may dadala ko ba sa hospital? Meron ba silang, pag nagkaroon ng earthquake, save ba sila? Pag titignan mo, itong mga immediate concerns nila, hindi naman talaga nakakonect ang gobyerno dyan Di ba? Para silang gears that are not in sync. Meron tayong ikot sa ating mga isip, pero sila merong ikot.
Okay.
Yon. So, as far as they're concerned, wala silang nararamdaman. They are happy with their freedom. I mean, kung gusto nilang mag-Saudi, kung gusto nilang lumipat sa Romblon, I mean, the kinds of restrictions that are associated with the dictatorship. Dati hindi mo pwedeng gawin yan. Yung 5 tao under Marcos na nag-usap-usap kayo, that is already bawal. Diba? So malayo yon. So hindi nila nararamdaman yon. Now, that hindi nila nararamdaman yung nararamdaman natin does not mean na pag dumating doon sa punto na yon na mararamdaman nila yon, hindi sila bigla babalikwas. It's simply that merong lag, assuming there is a danger. We see it now. They don't see it yet. But once it is close at malapit na yan sa bituka, gaya na sabi nila, biglang babalikwas yan. So, those who are thinking of dictatorship, authoritarianism, they are moving within a narrow band of acceptability of their actions. Kaya makikita mo na kunwari matatapang sila, pero tinitingnan nila yung timpla ng mga tao.
Pero sir, hindi pa rin maikakaila na magiging kontrolado na talaga ni Pangulong Duterte yung Senado. At sinasabi po ng marami na yung Senado yung last bastion, last stronghold daw ng demokrasya.
Yeah, pero ano naman ang magiging reaction ng mga tao dyan?
Ano nga ba?
Pag nakita nila na, uy, itong Senadong ito, hindi na balansyado ito. Wala na akong naririnig na dissonant voices dito. Mukhang nabili na lahat yung Senado. And when the Senate becomes too presumptuous in the kinds of changes that they make for this nation, then biglang attentive ang mga tao dyan. And dito importante na yung narrative ng minority, sabi mo minority, biglang lalawak yan. Kasama yung sa psychological moment na sinasabi ko.
Sinasabi nyo ba sir na walang pakialam yung mga tao kung mas marami yung pro-Duterte sa Senado sa ngayon?
Well, they are not alarmed.
They are not alarmed.
They are not alarmed. They don't see anything wrong with it. They don't see anything wrong with it. Kaya yung sinasabi natin, basta binigyan kayo ng pera, tanggapin niyo yung pera, pero iboto niyo yung gusto niyo. Sino ba yung gusto nila? Ang narrative nila ngayon is, we elected Duterte and wala naman kaming nakikitang dramatic reason why we should change that. Ganon yung karamihan ng mga bumoboto.
They do not see anything wrong with it because sinasabi nyo malayo sa bituka pa. Tama po ba?
Yeah.
At kung lumapit na sa bituka, doon na mapapansin ng tao yung
That's when they become attentive to the alternative narrative.
Pero hindi ba sir, nagmahal yung mga presyo ng bilihin, naging mas matraffic. Kumbaga yung mga isyong yan malapit talaga sa bituka ng karaniwang Pilipino.
Yeah, pero walang pinagkaiba doon sa dati. I mean, it did not materially bring down their quality of life. And it is that gap that is important, na biglang suddenly bumaba ka doon. Ngayon, kung bumaba ka doon pero biglang naiakyat din, hindi maramdaman ng tao. Pero yung real wage, for instance, pag biglang bumaba yung buying power ng mga tao, then, ayun, they will start being attentive to political issues because they will be asking, bakit nagaganyan? Yung mga farmers natin, yun, makikita mo na next year, when hindi sila magtatanim ng palay, these are the kinds of things that we're talking about. Or, biglang nagkaroon ng big one, and then the government is not able to provide the assistance that are required. Ayun, biglang, di ba? Anong klaseng presidente ito?
Ang ibig niyo sabihin, sir, kailangan munang lumala yung mga sinasabi ninyong problema bago magbago ang ihip ng hangin? Tama po ba?
Sabi nila kung lagnat lang yan, mahirap gamutin. Pero pag naging pharyngitis na yan, meron ng antibiotics for it.
Ganyan po ba sa iba-ibang bahagi ng mundo o sa Pilipinas lang ganyan?
Well, I think basically that's how it is. Merong homeostasis i-disturb mo yun Pagkatapos hahanap siya ng bagong level. So, ngayon, we are in a homeostasis. People have accepted her and have adapted to a president who calls the Pope names. But sa kanila, atmospherics yun Kasi parang lumalabas sa kanila. Itong taong ito, nagmabalasakit sa amin, kaya niya ginagawa ito. So, lumalabas pang hero siya. Well, I mean, just trying to explain why the support remains. But malayo nga sa bituka. But gaya nung namamatayan, namamatayan. Pero these are individual families that are affected. It's not a massive sectoral, although of course alam natin na mostly poor ang mga namamatay dyan.
Sinasabi niyo, sir, na the Filipinos have adapted to this kind of president.
Ang sinasabi lang nila basically, wala namang pinagkaiba yan sa dati na. And makikita mo na there is a big sense of deprivation. I mean, even under Pinoy, we were saying GDP has increased, we are now the fair-haired boy in Asia. Pero hindi nila maramdaman yun eh. So, throughout that time, meron silang deprivation. Now, the poor have a feeling of deprivation, the middle class has a feeling of deprivation, and even the elites have a feeling of deprivation. So, nung biglang, sabi ni Duterte, bibigyan ko kayo ng target at bibigyan ko kayo ng aksyon, that in itself, that process, got them into electing him. So, parang Duterte becomes a scourge against the establishment. Right?
Yan po sir, pinapaliwanag niyo yung point of view ng karamihan ng Pilipino. Kayo po sir, personal, palagay ninyo, diktador ba si Duterte?
Well, he has dictatorial tendencies and there are actions that he has taken. He does not have regard for justice and law and political balance and propriety. But these are anecdotal things. When you look at it, and there was a foreigner who interviewed me and I was convincing him that we are now in an authoritarian regime. Actually, doon ko lang nabuksan ng mata ko na, actually, there is individual freedom and that is what is getting in the way. Na we still have individual freedom, threaten yung ating political institutions, right? But Duterte has not really gone out to become an authoritarian leader.
Ano yung mga individual freedoms na tinutukoy ninyo?
I can talk here. Rappler can write, although I know what's happening to Maria Ressa, but these are, I know, but these are really inconveniences. When he says, ako, I don't have a doubt na meron siya listahan ng 1,000 journalists na at any time papadampot niya, di ba? I mean, just like Marcos, but he has not done that, and I don't think he will.
And yeah, going back to the point earlier, Duterte, you said, has dictatorial tendencies, but do you think he is succeeding in making these dictatorial tendencies come out?
No. He does not scheme to make it happen. Gusto niya na he makes a declaration and the support will spontaneously come to him. It does not work that way. And so between Marcos and Duterte is not a strategist at all. Remember nung ang lakas nung revolutionary movement, di ba? This was 2017 pa lang yan, 2016. Okay, let's have a revolutionary government, di ba? But if he wanted to, maybe at the time he could have schemed to have one, except that nobody really came up with the causal chain to make it happen. And I don't think now he has that causal chain thinking to make the kinds of changes that will make us authoritarian. Will he declare martial law? He will have to lay the predicate for martial law. Will he sponsor bombing of churches and show that there are Muslim terrorists in our midst just so he can declare martial law? I don't think so. Will he declare martial law without that? No, because the military will not buy it and the media and the people will say, well, actually, kung smiling martial law na martial law in name, wala namang mga checkpoints, wala namang dinadampot, di ba? So, basically, it's something about ramdam ba ng tao. And I think that is what is the background for what is going to happen on Monday. But as I've said, if there is something psychological that dramatically changes things can change.
Sir, sinabi nyo kanina bago magsimula yung interview na Duterte has not wagged democracy hard enough. What do you mean, sir?
Kasi makikita mo na, for instance, ang solusyon sa traffic sa Metro Manila is do something about the private cars. Right? We are moving vehicles, we're not moving people. That's the basic problem there. So, if he wanted to, he could have wagged this society by solving that problem. In fact, he should have solved the MMDA problem. He should have solved the metropolitan problem. The metropolitan problem is, which is maybe 1/3 of the problem of the Philippines now, is there are 17 local governments, fiefdoms, that are acting as if they were one organic whole. They're not. And which is why if you travel down EDSA, you have blue boys, green boys, yellow boys, di ba? So many local ordinances applying to you. What I'm really saying is that the metropolis solving garbage, traffic, floods, dapat i-metropolitanize mo yan. That should have been the first federal state. And it is the federal state that, with the BARM as the other federal state, would have provided the balance. You can use this as a learning tool, di ba? I mean, this is, Metro Manila as a federal state has no chance of failing. BARM, on the other hand, has a big chance of failing. Di ba? So you could, if you came up with the systems for a federal state here, you could have transferred them here. Ganon.
Sir, just wrapping up our interview, paano nyo ilalarawan yung estado ng demokrasya sa Pilipinas ngayon?
Ang estado ng demokrasya ng Pilipinas ngayon ay parang isang babaeng nanganganak. Di ba? Minumura ng babae yung asawa niya, nagsisigaw, nagpapapadyak. And it doesn't look good to a kid who is watching. But if you understand what's happening, it's a beautiful experience in a way na manganganak siya. There will be a new birth. Is it possible that our experience with Duterte will become a thesis for which the antithesis will become a more democratic Philippines because it's going to solve the problems that we have not solved, political dynasties. Ang election natin, nag-i-elect tayo ng mga individuals, hindi tayo nag-i-elect ng political parties. Diba? Those are the things. We are forcing our people to make decisions that really mean nothing. Why? Kasi pinipili nga natin mga qualifications ng mga tao, pinipili natin on the basis of money. But where are the large visions of a grand political party as a contractor for governance services? Wala eh. So, in a way, unfair tayo sa mga tao natin. We are asking them to come up with decisions on a government that is coherent and far-seeing on the basis of individual choices.
Sir, ang panghuli kong tanong, konektado dito sa estado ng demokrasya sa Pilipinas. Kayo po, sir, personal, natatakot ba kayo na makokontrol ni Duterte ang Senado?
Well, alam kong mas malaki ang control na mangyayari ngayon after the elections than before. But I know that there are voices there that will be independent. And to me, 4 voices in a field of 24, madagdagan man yon, that is enough to give me the other side. And I think the people will be listening to both sides.
What gives you hope, sir?
What gives me hope is that the problems of this country are, they look very difficult. But if you look at them, they are easy to solve. Palitan mo lang yung ating voting system, di ba? Na you vote for parties rather than individuals. Ito lang sa election natin ito, pag nilagyan mo lang ng isang bilog dyan, na nakalagay dyan, 8 diretso, di ba? One oval, that would have dramatically simplified, at of course, isang hugpong, that would have dramatically improved the results of this election.
At what gives you hope in the new Senate that is being formed?
Oh, because it's not entirely new Senate. Part of it is remaining. And we have enough, I think we have enough voices there that will give us the kind of intelligence and far-seeing strategic interest of the Philippines. All that you need for these voices is for public opinion and news media to become the force multipliers. Pick up in lang nila yan, and then that will even up everything. I'm not too worried about our country at this time, because the experience that we've gone through as an independent country is very rich, and we are acting as if walang trace sa Pilipino yon. Merong trace yan, and in due time it will come out.
All right. Maraming salamat, Mr. Romero. Nakasama natin si Mr. Doy Romero, isang political scientist. Ako po si Paterno S. Maquel. Maraming salamat sa pagsama sa amin ngayon.